One day, Gordon's whistle valve had jammed. It had caused a lot of trouble, and the fat controller was not pleased. "This won't do at all, Gordon. Burst safety valves, jammed whistles. You must go to the works and have your worn parts mended. Henry shall take the express until you come back." Henry was pleased, but James was cross. "It's not fair," he complained. "Ever since Henry got his new shape, he gets the express all the time, and I end up stuck doing his other jobs." "Never mind, James," said his driver. "Just be patient. I'm sure you'll pull the express again one day." But James wanted the express now. As well as taking goods trains, James also had to pull the local. It's a passenger train that stops at every station along the line. He found it dreadfully boring. All he could do was watch the other engines rushing past. "I'm fed up with these slow trains," he grumbled. "They're so degrading." "No, they're not," put in Henry. "Slow trains are important too. I pulled lots of them before I got my new shape." "At least Henry is careful with his trains," teased Percy. "None of them needed to be mended with bootlaces." "Ha!" snapped James, and then sulked all night. He was still cross the next morning. His fire would not burn properly. "It must be the coal again," grumbled the fireman. "If we can't get his fire going, we'll be late collecting the local." James looked across the shed. He could see Henry getting ready for the express. And then he made a plan. The driver and fireman tried everything, but James deliberately dawdled. At last the inspector arrived. "Sure wheel, James. It's nearly time for your train." "Oh, I'm sorry, sir," groaned James. "I don't seem to have enough steam this morning." "Bother. Well, there's nothing for it then. Henry, you'll have to take the local for James. I need to find another engine for the express." Henry was annoyed, but he did as he was told. James smiled to himself. When Henry had gone, James suddenly let off steam. "What do you know? I'm feeling much better now. Shall I take the express, sir?" The fireman was surprised. The driver was suspicious. But the inspector agreed, and James bustled away. "I'm such a clever engine," he thought. "That's one in the headlamp for old Henry." When everyone was ready, James set off. He was looking forward to a fast run. And as he hurried along, he began to feel strange. "It must be the coal after all," complained the driver. "There still isn't enough steam." James tried hard, but by the time he reached Edward Station, he felt very stuffed up. His driver warned the signalman, and the fireman began clearing ashes from James's firebox. The passengers became impatient. "Will we ever start?" moaned James. At last he felt well enough to set off again, but he was late for the rest of the day. That night, James returned to the shed tired and unhappy. "Hello, James," said Henry. "You're back late. Still feeling poorly, are you?" "Either that or he forgot which train he was pulling," remarked Percy. "You did know you were taking the express and not the local, didn't you? Don't worry, maybe you'll remember next time." James said nothing. He had decided that even clever engines can still make mistakes.